What's going on, guys? We're back at it with another Nintendo Switch 2 grip case review, and we've got the big kahuna this time. The Satisfye ZenGrip 2, which a lot of people were waiting for. When the Switch released, Satisfye had a lot of success with their Nintendo Switch grips for the Switch 1. I never had a Nintendo Switch 1. No original, no Lite, no OLED. So I never got a chance to check out their products until now. Satisfye decided to wait to release the ZenGrip 2. There was a big delay in shipping because they were trying to get it perfectly right. They waited until the Nintendo Switch 2 actually came out instead of coming out with the grip right around the same time as the launch. They wanted to get it perfect. And I do think they got very close, but I don't think this is the perfect grip. It might be the best grip for the Nintendo Switch 2, but I don't think it's perfect, and I think it's a little too expensive at its current price, which is very similar to the D brand Kill Switch 2, which I haven't checked out yet. People seem to be pretty happy with the D brand Kill Switch 2 after they made their revisions with the Joy-Cons, and people seem to be really enjoying the ZenGrip 2 as well. I have seen some people a little dissatisfied, pardon the pun, with the ZenGrip 2 because it's a little bit too big, and it's not really Satisfye's fault because the Nintendo Switch 2 is big. It's just bigger than the original Switch, and I'll get into that a little bit. But first I want to talk about the actual build quality itself. I only got the ZenGrip. I didn't get the bundle that comes with the slim case. It's got like a vegan leather. It's a little bit bigger than normal carrying cases just because it has to fit this thing. And before I get into anything, by the way, Satisfye did not send this to me. I bought this with my own money on Amazon. They're now available on Amazon as well as Satisfye's website. But if you buy on Satisfye's website, you have to pay, at least if you're in the United States, you have to pay $10 shipping plus tax, or maybe without tax. I'm actually not sure how it works for each state. But if you get the slim bundle, it's $70 plus you have to pay the $10 for shipping. If you don't get charged the tax, that's $80 right there, which is the same as the D brand Kill Switch 2 with the travel cover. And if you just get the grip itself, it's $50 plus a $10 shipping. So you're looking at $60 just for the grip. And that's a hefty price tag. So you could buy it on Amazon and kind of forego the shipping cost, but I still find it to be too expensive. Like, even if you use I think they have a Valentine's Day sale going on right now on the Satisfye website, which is like 20%. Even with that, because you have to pay the shipping on their website, it's still $66 for the bundle. So I don't know, it just seems like a little bit too much money. But I will say that the build quality kind of makes you feel like you're getting a premium product because this is pretty easily the best built grip that I've tried so far. I tried the Savage Raven Neo grip, the stand grip, I tried the JSOC split protective case, I tried the Play Vital Beyond, and a couple other cases as well, a Moomba case. I've tried almost all of them, I feel, and this one just definitely feels like the most premium product. You are getting plastic here, but it's a very sturdy type of plastic. The handles themselves have like a rubberized material, which is still hard. Like it's not soft by any means, but the material makes it so that you're not just holding on to plastic, which a lot of the other grips are. Then on the inside, you have these little rubberized pieces that creates like a floating design for your Nintendo Switch 2. So let's get the Switch in there and kind of show you what I'm talking about. So the way you put it in, basically just get it from the top and then just push it down. It does go in quite slow, but it's in there and it's secure. You also have these little pieces on the bottom, and this is where my first kind of complaint is going to be. These are supposed to act as a stand, but as you can see, the angle it's just terrible because it's just standing straight up. And unless you go down to eye level, which who is ever going to be standing like that or sitting like that, it really doesn't make sense for this unless you just want to, you know, keep it there out of the way, but you can't really do much with it, especially because if you can use the kickstand, which is nice. They allowed that. They didn't cover it up. But look at the angle you have to get at, and it's wobbling a little bit, so I would actually be a little bit cautious. But this angle is like the most I can get it at, so you would have to be like way above it. Your eye level would have to be way above it for you to actually see what's going on the screen. Another kind of complaint I have are these game card holders. I don't find them that annoying when I'm actually holding onto the grip. I know some people kind of get annoyed that their fingers are touching, but I don't think it's like a huge deal for me, but I don't think it was necessary. I know they came out with like these like flush clips that you can insert in them, but it didn't come with mine. And I think they only come with the hard shell case that they're about to release or just released. So it would have been nice if they included it, but I just don't really know who's gonna use these. If you do use these, please comment below and let me know that I'm dumb and this is a good design and it's useful. But I feel like if you're taking this on the go, you're probably gonna put it in a case and you could just have the games in the case. I don't know, that's just my opinion. I would never use these, but it is what it is. Now, to get into the actual comfort of this grip, it's awesome. Honestly, it's the best grip that I've used quite easily. Like, I don't think there's much competition in terms of hand feel, because this feels just like a complete product. This feels like home. This feels like you're using a normal controller. It's holding the Switch 2 in place kind of perfectly, and the handles themselves just feel really good. The only thing I'll say is my hands do get a little bit sweaty because of the material used, but it's not that big of a deal, and it's not that much different than some of the other cases I've tried, like the plastic on the Play Vital Beyond, for instance. Kind of made my hands just sweaty, but this one just feels much better, feels more premium, and overall it's a good feeling in the hand without a doubt. I think most people will like it, and I don't think it has that much of a learning curve or an acclimation period. I feel like you can get used to it pretty easily just because it's a very natural feel. One thing I don't like is that the plastic over here on the left handle is so close to the left arrow on the D-pad. I don't know why they did that. I feel like they could have brought it out a little bit more, or maybe made like an indent here, because every time you hit the left arrow on the D-pad, you're kind of hitting the plastic too. Not a huge deal, like it's not a deal breaker, but it is a little bit of a nuisance. Because of this asymmetrical nature, as you can see, the right handle kind of flares out more than the left handle. And they did this because you want your left thumb sticking onto the left thumbstick naturally, and it absolutely does that. The left part is perfectly fine. It's perfect. It'll literally have no issues. The asymmetrical nature of the right handle doesn't necessarily take getting used to, but I'm not using it the way I guess they want me to use it. And it's because I really don't have large hands. Like, I have probably small to maybe medium-sized hands. And if I were to hold it like I guess they designed it, my right thumbstick would be here, but then how am I getting to these buttons? I would have to reach every time like this. So what I found myself doing is basically just bringing my hand up a little bit more and putting them on the buttons, and then I'll just come down here and use a thumbstick like this. But if I do that, then what is the benefit, you know, of an asymmetrical design? I feel like all other cases would be similar in terms of me using it like this. If I was using it like this and I had long enough fingers to get to the buttons as well, then definitely this is a home run. And I still do think it is a home run because it's extremely comfortable. It feels incredible in the hands, and it's just a great handheld experience. But for me, for the price, given that I really don't have large hands, I don't know if it's necessarily worth the price point. So that's just my personal opinion. But as a whole, I find it an awesome grip. I think it's the best grip that I've tried. I haven't tried the D brand, like I said, and maybe that one would be better, but I don't think so because I don't fully love the handle design of the D brand Kill Switch 2, which looks to be kind of similar to the Spigen Dual Grip and some other ones where it's not flared out, it just goes back. I haven't completely loved that type of design. I think this design with the flared out handles is the best, but if I had larger hands, it would be perfect. And I think the issue is that the Switch 2 is just bigger. So this grip just makes everything kind of bigger. And some people might like that. Some people with smaller hands might not like that, and it might cause a little bit of discomfort or maybe a little bit of an issue getting to these buttons and also coming back to this thumbstick. I've also seen some people complain a little bit about not being able to fully get to the shoulder buttons. I got used to that pretty quickly. At first, it was like a little bit of a process to get used to because, as you can see, you're your finger is kind of hitting this, especially if you're down here. You're not really hitting the whole thing, you're hitting the corners or the ends. But I don't think that's a deal breaker at all. And it's actually, it feels quite natural overall. So that's not a problem. I guess one other minor nitpick, you can kind of see some of these. They're not scratches, they're kind of like imprints from the rubber. But as you can see, they do go away, but I'm a little bit concerned that over time, possibly that might leave permanent marks. I don't know. Only time will tell. The one thing I forgot to mention is the dockability. This is easily dockable. One of the best dockable experiences I've had in terms of grip cases. Super easy. You just slide it in, slide it out. Obviously do it, be a little bit careful and have a screen protector on your switch too, but good dockable experience. So that's also a plus. So overall, would I recommend the Satisfye ZenGrip 2? Yes, especially if you have larger hands or medium to large hands, I think this is an awesome grip. And even for people with smaller hands, I think you can get used to it and have a great handheld experience because this is an awesome product. It really is. For me personally, I just feel like it's a little bit too expensive for what it is. I do feel like you're getting a premium product, but there's a couple things that don't fully convince me. And I feel like you can get something for much cheaper really and still have a really rewarding handheld experience that, you know, doesn't break the bank. And I don't think this is like insanely expensive, but it is quite a bit expensive over other Nintendo Switch 2 grips that have been pretty good and pretty useful for a little while. But if you want to check these out, I'll have an Amazon affiliate link down below. You can also go to Satisfye's website and pick it up there if you want, but just be wary that you will have to pay for shipping on their website. That'll do it for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one.